Star Trek vs. Star Wars: The Imperial War by Darius Trent. Chapter 4. More unwelcome guests. The hangar bay doors of the SSD opened up to the vastness of space below it. From the hangar, over 50 probes dropped down, ready to scan deeper into Federation space. They all went in different directions, going to hyperspace once they predicted they would end up in a safe location. On the bridge of the Executor, Darth Vader strolled up to Admiral Ozzel, who was overseeing the launch of the probes. "Admiral, what's your status on the probes?" "They've just gone to hyperspace, my lord," answered Ozzel. "We've sent out 20 probes as decoys to where we usually go. The rest are headed to the neutral zone." "This neutral zone of yours better to be what it's worth," commented Vader. "Should it not be, you'll find that my patience has worn thin from your lack of progress." "Yes, my lord," replied Ozzel worriedly. Lord Vader called out Tarkin as he walked into the room. "I have just received word that the Death Star is about to enter the anomaly to join the fleet." "Was this your doing, Tarkin?" queried Vader as he strode up to face the Grand Moff. "In anticipation of the success of Ozzel's plan, my lord," replied Tarkin. "If it fails to come to fruition, we can use it as a sign of strength on a Federation world, to force them to surrender to us." "Very well then. Put the anomaly on the main viewer," Vader ordered as an officer in the trenches did so, bringing up a view of where the bluish sphere would be on the viewer. The anomaly burst into existence, glowing in extremely deep blue, before brightening and increasing the intensity of the color. Eventually, it got so bright it became pure white, with light shining in every direction as an extremely large amount of energy was being transferred to their universe. Just as it seemed it couldn't get more intense, the anomaly appeared to dissipate as the Death Star emerged from it. The neighboring Star Destroyers had long since gotten out of the way, leaving the Death Star to drift forwards as it got its bearings. The viewer on the Executor didn't do the appearance of the Death Star justice, but it gave Vader the knowledge that it had arrived safely. "My lord, what should we do with the Death Star while we wait for the probes to finish up?" asked Ozzel. "Have her move into orbit of Ivor Prime while I consider our options," answered Vader. "I will be in my chambers if you need me." "Yes, my lord," replied Ozzel as Vader walked off the bridge. In orbit of Ivor Prime, the Death Star dropped out of hyperspace. The moon-sized battle station then proceeded to start orbiting the planet, as the Executor and its escorts moved to escort the Death Star. They all started moving in formation as they continuously orbited the planet, waiting for the probes to do their magic. "Here they come," announced Leia from her science station at the back of the Arizona's bridge. She had been monitoring Imperial probe activity for the past several hours, waiting to see if some were coming their way. But where Captain Soto was describing probes numbering in the 50s coming towards the hotspur, Leia only found a meager 7 heading towards them now. She had double-checked with the Olympus and the Destiny and both were saying the same things. A low amount of probes coming their way. It didn't feel right in Leia's mind. Hell, nothing about this conflict or her position on the Arizona felt right at all. But nevertheless, someone had to help these people from the Empire, and she seemed like one of the best people to do it. "Target probes with phasers," ordered Trent. "Nothing gets through here, regardless of how many there are." The probes started dropping out of hyperspace. Each time they did, a phaser beam almost instantaneously fired at the probe, destroying it with ease. This process repeated itself until no probes were left. "That felt too easy," commented Hawk. "I must concur with Lieutenant Hawk, Captain. That did feel very easy," added Aldrin. "Maybe they're out of probes," suggested Horan. "I can assure you, with 1,000 Star Destroyers, it'd take years to run out of probes," rebutted Leia. A warning signal flashed through Taytoner's console. "Captain, we are receiving an automated warning signal from the outposts lining the neutral zone," reported Taytoner. "Don't tell me the Romulans have decided to take advantage of our situation," commented Aldrin. "The outposts aren't registering Romulan's ship though, they scanned what looked like Imperial probes." "It was a setup," remarked Trent. "Contact the Enterprise immediately." Without a moment to lose, Taytoner contacted the Enterprise, and pretty soon Picard's face was on the viewscreen. "What's the matter, Captain?" asked Picard. "We've got probes in the neutral zone, Admiral," replied Trent. "They look like they're going to Earth." "This is serious news, but I think it may be related to something we just discovered." Picard commented. We detected a moon-sized object emerge from the anomaly. It's now in orbit of Ivor Prime, so we were able to scan it using long-range sensors. We're sending you the scans we have now. Captain, this isn't just any old moon, remarked Leia, it's the Death Star. We are going to have to plan our next move very carefully, continued Picard. I'm going to order all ships to rendezvous with you at your current location. There'll be a meeting of all captains in my observation lounge not long after. Okay then, replied Trent. We're going to have to be fast. Can you get your friend to take Discovery to our location as well? I'll send him your coordinates and tell him we need them there, answered Picard. Until then, remain calm and we'll be there shortly. Picard out. Remain calm, exclaimed Hawk. The Empire's going to have a route straight into deep Federation space soon, and they've got a super weapon capable of destroying planets now. Actually, Lieutenant, it may be easier than you think to destroy the Death Star, replied Horan. Me and Commander Tapuan were looking through the schematics of the Death Star when we found an unnecessary series of exhaust ports which connected straight to the main reactor assembly. If we were to fire a torpedo at this area, it would go straight through and hit the reactor, destroying it. Send me as much of the Death Star's weaknesses as you can, Lieutenant, ordered Trent. I'll be in my ready room. Aye, sir, replied Horan as Trent walked into his ready room, the door shutting behind him with a hiss. In the depths of space, the Arizona and the Hotspur stopped next to each other. Deeper in space, 8 more ships were rushing to their location, running to coordinate to stop the Empire from destroying the Federation.